Good morning. Let's have a look at the green screens. Just firstly, point out Toulouse-Rennes. Take a peek at the angles. 2-2 might be in play here. They've had 3 2-2s, and Nantes did 2-2 at home v Toulouse. And Nantes 2-2 when Rennes visit them. 2-2, a trading play. So let's see how that Mystic Meg research panned out there. Oh, look at that. A 2-2. So I hope one or two of you are using this research. That was a great angle. It covers both teams scoring. It covers the first team to score. It covers the first team to score 2 goals as well. So a really good call yesterday. Top trading tip for you: don't fall asleep, because it could cost you big. This was heading towards 3 a.m. Marseille match. I simply fell asleep, even though it was 0-2. I topped up at 0-2, as you can see there. Back Marseille 7.8, laid Angers 1.5, just with £5 stakes. And just experimenting on this one before I fell asleep. I tried Marseille +1 as well to cover the draw. So came out of it with 20 quid. But it was 1-2 to Marseille, which I'm absolutely gutted about. That's the out there. But I was getting my beauty sleep, I'm afraid. Heading towards 3:30 a.m. Vaz getting the goal there, getting 2 goals. It was banker of the day, and it's a great example with trading. It's not about the final score. It's about what happens in play. Now, I should have been walking away with about 160 quid there, 165 at that 2-1. Done by a very, very late goal while I was fast asleep. Really disappointed there. There was a few lay the draws yesterday: Paris Saint-Germain and Lorient, Roma and Parma. I laid over 0.5 goals at the start of the match. So come half time, you're sitting on a nice profit there. Now you can lay the draw at half time, and it doesn't matter what happens. So a few lay the draws yesterday, and this was the big one. I should have walked away with a 3-figure return had I not required my beauty sleep. And if you've had a look at me, I do need a lot of beauty sleep. So lay the draws, the simplest method yesterday, and a primary focus paying off again on the major leagues. EFL Cup, possibility to have played the Swansea opening goal, given the fact Man City suddenly woke up. And wouldn't you credit it, it's all gone. Pete Tong for Liverpool at the moment. Not a competition I think teams are that keen on progressing in. Some of them want to get out as quickly as possible. But favourites night last night, it seems, all the way through. Liverpool not fancied for the EFL Cup at all. Very important to note those odds if you fancied Liverpool. Market didn't. French League yesterday. Again, this is Paris Saint-Germain and Lorient. It's difficult getting involved again. If you laid the draw, it's difficult to have got out of that. Did the draw odds sort themselves out in time before that Igor Silva equaliser? And I would have expected for Paris Saint-Germain to have won this, given the tight encounter at the top with Marseille. And that's why I expected Marseille to hold on yesterday. 21 points if they got that win, and they'd have been ahead on goal difference, Marseille. So crucial that Angers equalise at the end. Absolutely crucial for the title race, potentially. That could be seismic for those two at the top, because it's going to be a tight race this year, which is very unlike France. And of course, Toulouse, Rennes 2-2. Absolutely delighted with that research. Superb stuff there. Everything else, the cup really, no great interest from me in trusting sides in the cup. Irish First Division, Shamrock Rovers getting the win against Galway. And in SerieA, laying the draw second half, Roma and Parma, having laid over 0.5 goals at the start of the match. Very nice return there. And notable, isn't it, that Parma are conceding more goals when their quality of opponents increases. Perry Como, well done to them. Would have expected Cesc Fabregas's men to have got the win yesterday. I didn't lay the draw second half. Did you? Juventus and Udinese, another. You lay the draw. Nice and simple. Had to win, Juve. Priced to win. As I mentioned in research yesterday, their 2 losses were flagged up by the market. So a sudden shift to very strong odds-on favourite at home. Take the hint. Well, where Torino are, goals don't necessarily follow. This is a disappointing match for Bologna. But it's very difficult to take on the 0-0 in a Torino match. This is what they do. Cremonese, any goals from Jamie Vardy? I thought Genoa's odds were far too short because this is a relegation 6-pointer already. Was your man James Vardy there? No. Bonazzoli getting the goals for Cremonese. Jamie Vardy's new club, Cremonese. Inter Fiorentina, laying the draw second half again. It's not difficult. Must win territory for them. Must win territory for Juve. Como I missed. Should have kept the faith. It's a Cesc Fabregas side. Pretty robust, particularly when priced to win. Cup matches again in Spain. In the Netherlands, no great interest there. In the SPL, nothing much doing for me yesterday. St Mirren and Hearts, arguably, if St Mirren are leading, and odds on Hearts tend to be reliable. And indeed, they proved their worth again with that 2-2. So watch out for that pattern this season. It worked very, very well last season, relying on Hearts when they're odds on favourite. It was a day of frustrations altogether yesterday, really, for me. I was trying something new, getting involved a bit early in laying the draw Juve at 3.05, hoping the match would be a little tighter and getting my second lot of 20 liability on at shorter odds. But no, Juventus were having none of that. Got a goal come in. So that should have been about an £18 green screen. So we would have come out of yesterday with a profit, but it would have been a 3+ figure return. Had old Sleeping Beauty here not been snoring his arse off while Marseille are leading 2-1 for a good 20 minutes. Who invented sleep? Bastards. Well, let's have a look at today's trading angles. Again, it's predominantly cup day today, so just be careful with these. Strong favourites trying to tempt you in. Cercle Brugge, Ghent, Sint-Truiden, Leuven. You tend to see with some countries, the favourites away from home. Not necessarily going to be playing any of these in the Belgian Cup, but do focus on odds on favourites if you are to play. Particularly huge gaps in the league. Knokke against Sint-Truiden is a big gap between these two league-wise. Can we trust Midtjylland in the Cup? They are normally reliable in the Danish Super League and one of my old reliable sides. So we'll see if they're up for it today. Cagliari and Sassuolo. Let's take a look at that. But the first thing you should be looking at is the pre-match odds. 2.55 the favourite should already have you running for the hills. Okay. 2 consecutive home defeats for Cagliari, but this is a dropping in quality of opponent. Sassuolo newly promoted. No wonder it's 2.55. Only 2 wins, plays only 3 wins. This is an opportunity. For me, it's a derby-style match. It's a relegation 6-pointer already this early on in the season. So that draw is going to be vulnerable later on. That would be my primary angle in a match where the market can't even pick a winner. Pisa against Lazio. Well, this is an interesting one. Again, I would have expected a more established side like Lazio in the SerieA to have been odds-on favourite against a newly promoted Pisa. Let's take a look at the research. Right, so they've failed to score at home. Yet they're available at 3.7. Lazio are on a good run. Unbeaten in 4 with 3 clean sheets. So I'm a little mystified as to the market here. Now, those of you with a glass half full will see this as extremely good value for Lazio. The trouble scoring for Pisa means if they do score first today, they could be vulnerable. Where's that second goal? But the market is strange for me. It might signal some Lazio injury issues, something like that, because there's certainly no European football this week, of course, this late on in the week. Cup football continues in the Netherlands and in Spain. Probably the Netherlands want to avoid, but we want to look at that Man City type of team away at the Swans. An opportunity I missed because of my lack of confidence in the competition, but that could fit the category there. Twente, we know very well. NEC Nijmegen having an excellent season in the Eredivisie. Could score too many for Rijnsburgse boys. But I haven't touched the competitions, to be honest. But you'd be looking for that Swansea-Manchester City type match. Celta Vigo, not another 1-1. The manager will be shouting. Expect them to score more than 1 goal today against Puerto de Vega. But a side to follow. That 1-1-itis is really getting on their nerves. Alaves 1.02. Don't forget, you can have a bit of fun with these. 101s, 102s. Can you get the correct score, win to nil? Any choice between 5 to 9-0. Just make sure they don't win 11-0 like one of them won the other day. Derby match. Avilés. Interesting in the cup. Espanyol 1.05. And Real Betis 1.02. These are big sides in La Liga. Are they up for the cup? Are they going to translate these ultra short odds into 5+ goals? That's the only real trading angle in, as well as a 20-minute wait to see if we can get that flux of goals coming in after 20 minutes. We're expecting goals before half-time as well. Don't get carried away with it too much. Well, with the young boys in Switzerland, we don't tend to research this normally, but did so today. Young boys tend towards over 2.5 goal. That's your strongest neutral angle in there today. You see that's lack of sleep. So the young boys 1.96. Grasshoppers might join in the fun. They're scoring 2+ goals at home. Both teams have scored in all bar 1 away for the young boys. So it's got plenty of angles, and the young boys are on the cusp of being like Midtjylland, one of my old reliables. I would expect of them today. I expect both teams to score. Possibility of a goal before half-time. It should be an entertaining fixture, this. No, not a banker by any chance for the young boys, because Grasshoppers are scoring 2+ goals at home. Lugano and Luzern, 1.81 home favourites. So we've got an automatic shift in focus to them. Let's take a look. 3 wins in 4 at home for Lugano. They're looking pretty solid. But they've had only 1 clean sheet at home, Lugano. So if they are to win today, I suspect that they will need 2 goals in order to do so. Luzern are very competitive, even in defeat, tending to lose 1-2. They have a strong both teams to score pattern as well. So if this goes as per form lines, both teams to score are possible here, with Lugano possibly just getting that second goal again, which is their habit at home. But this should be a very competitive fixture, more competitive than 1.81 suggests. Let's take a look at the expected goals analysis, probably just for the Swiss. So this is how I read expected goals. I use the X of expected goals. So XG offence versus XG defence for the opponent. XG offence versus XG defence for the opponent. If they marry, you've got a good shot of those expected goals coming in. 1.09 on average is a little less robust than the young boys' 1.4. Anything above 1.5 for me is knocking on the door of 2 goals a game. The young boys are getting there. Defensively, a little more robust, but when sides like Grasshoppers start their expected goals against above 1.5, that signals they're giving enough sides chances enough. See, that sleep yesterday. They're giving sides enough chances to score up to 2 goals a game. Enough quality chances to score 2 goals. So young boys, I think, won't need an invitation. Well, I hope you can see here the potential concerns for both teams lie in a rather generous defence. 1.82 Lugano, 1.56 for Luzern. So they're giving sides enough chances to create 2+ goals. But Luzern and Lugano a bit lukewarm on the XG offence. AI has gone for a 1-2 Luzern. Certainly both teams to score is the neutral angle over 2.5 goals, the neutral angle. You don't have to go for the correct score. Looking at Pisa and Lazio, if you follow across, you will see the potential problems today, particularly for Pisa. 0.86 a game. Anything under 1 in offence means you're having trouble scoring that single goal. So that's going to be a concern to them. Lazio's defence is a little open, but not as open as Pisa's. Once you get over that 1.5 expected goals in defence, can Lazio take advantage? Well, that doesn't look too hot. If you were looking for 2+ goals today, that would ideally marry that. If your opponent is giving sides enough chance for 2 and you're scoring enough or creating enough for 2, should get that equal. This will be, I think, where Pisa lose the match or draw. Their expected goals in offence is not good enough. Well, you can see immediately why there's a malaise with these two sides. Look at the expected goals in defence for both of these two. Both Cagliari and Sassuolo giving sides enough chances to score 2+ goals. That is awful expected goals against, isn't it? And it's not backed up by their expected goals in offence either. That's just a really bad scenario. It's a kind of a losing 1-2 scenario, isn't it, for both of these two teams? But given the fact that they're wide open, are they going to take the invitation? Are we going to see one of these two sides scoring 2 goals, at least, today? What does the AI have to say? Well, a 1-1 or a 0-1 to Sassuolo. Looking for a tight match today, and that underlines the fact, at least from AI's perspective, that expected goals in offence might be the metric that overcomes expected goals in defence. I don't think they have enough quality to take advantage of their opponent's leaky defence. So my top tip from yesterday, don't fall asleep when your side's leading 2-1. Okay, could cost you 3 figures. Top trading tip from FootballTradingProfits.com. So that's it for today. Only 4 matches in league football that I'm interested in. Cup matches will have to be something compelling like Swansea and Man City for me to get involved there today. Has to be really strong in play stats, etc. Got an e-letter coming out on Friday. It might tackle the don't fall asleep tip of mine to ensure you get your 3-figure return. E-letter coming out. Plenty to talk about this week. Going to have a major look at expected goals. The metric just to highlight how to read expected goals. If you can read the tables, you can really get a good insight into these matches. Got a 14-day free trial as well. All the links are in the description. Look forward to seeing members a little bit later on in what might be a quiet evening with only 4 league football matches. Just not tempted yet with the cup.